The key has been in my desk drawer for 11 days. I have opened that drawer 14 times. I know because I counted. I count things now, intervals, deviations, the number of steps between my desk and the east corridor. It is a habit the archive has given me, and I'm not sure it is entirely mine. Yes, my name is Mara Voss. I keep the Black Hollow archive on sublevel B of the Garner Street Municipal Building. What I do here is read. What I do here is notice. What I have not yet done, what I have been circling for 11 days, is open a door. Today, I'm going to tell you what happened when I finally did. But first, I need to tell you about a folder I found this morning that was not here yesterday. It was sitting on the floor outside cabinet 11, not on top of the cabinet, not inside a drawer. On the floor, upright, leaning against the cabinet's lower panel, as though someone had set it down gently and meant to come back. The tab was typed rather than handwritten. Black ink on white stock, clean typeface, no smear. It read, Lateral Four, Supplemental Voice Record, 1962. You will remember that Lateral Four is the deepest branch of Tunnel D, the branch where a crew member identified only as R, descended in the spring of 1962, returned at 3:40 in the morning, unable to account for lost time, and filed a record that has never appeared anywhere in this archive. That folder has been an open question for as long as I have been working this room, and now here it was, on the floor, waiting. Pooh! I put on my gloves, I sat at my desk, I opened it. The folder held 4 pages. The first 3 were typed on the same pale blue civil engineer paper as the Tunnel D progress record from 1962. Same paper weight, same slight yellowing at the margins, same faint smell of mineral dust that I have come to associate with documents that were produced near the shaft. The 4th page was cream stock. I recognized that paper immediately. It is the same stock as the index card filed with Cecile Drun's record. The same stock as the note I found outside the utility closet. The 4th page was not from 1962. I read the typed pages first. The first page was a cover sheet. It identified the document as a transcribed voice record, meaning someone had listened to R speak and typed what they heard after the fact. The transcriptionist is not named. The date of transcription is blank. The date of the original account is listed as April 19th, 1962, 2 days before Tunnel D was sealed per unnamed instruction. The 2nd and 3rd pages were the account itself. Bombmis, R descended into Lateral 4 at approximately 2200 hours on April 18th. The tunnel at that point was roughly 40 feet below the sublevel B floor, which puts it, by my calculation, within 11 feet of the ash layer. The residual deposit, the warm thing beneath everything. R brought a lantern, a field notebook, and a compass. The compass failed at the base of the lateral. Not deviation, failure. The needle did not point the wrong direction. It stopped moving, held perfectly still regardless of how R turned or repositioned, as though the needle had found the only direction that existed down there and had nothing further to report. R described the air in Lateral 4 as neither cold nor warm. And I want you to understand that this is strange, because the rest of Tunnel D ran hot throughout construction. The crew used that as their bearing. Follow the heat, deeper means warmer. But at the base of Lateral 4, the temperature was even. R used that exact word, even. Like a room that has been held at a precise temperature for a very long time by something that understood what temperature meant. Then R heard the sound. Voice, not the rhythmic subsurface sound that Owen Price documented at Stake 9, once every 4 seconds, consistent, mechanical. This was different. R described it as a voice reading aloud. Not words R could understand. Not any language R could name. But the cadence was unmistakable. The rise and fall, the breath pause between phrases, the sense of something being enumerated, like a long list being read by someone who had been reading it for a very long time and had no intention of stopping. Wuwapas. R stood at the base of Lateral 4 and listened. The transcription notes that R could not determine how long this lasted. The field notebook, which was filed with the record, but which I do not have and which does not appear anywhere in this archive, apparently showed 4 pages of notes written in R's hand during this period. R had no memory of writing them. R returned to the surface at 3:40 in the morning. 6 hours had passed. R remembered descending. R remembered the even air, the still compass, the reading voice. R did not remember anything between hearing the voice and turning to walk back up the lateral. The progress record from 1962 documented this as disorientation consistent with poor ventilation. The transcription does not use that framing. The transcriptionist, whoever they were, wrote a single note at the bottom of page 3 in a different ink, added later. R could not stop hearing it afterward, not down there, up here, in ordinary rooms. R said it was still reading. I set down the typed pages. I looked at the fourth sheet, the cream stock. Crew. It contained one line in the careful, unhurried script I have seen twice before. On the index card in Drun's file, on the note outside the utility closet. 8 words. You have been listed. The key opens both doors. Wow. Both doors. Pause. I sat with that for a long time. The utility closet is one door. I have known about that door since episode 4 of my own record keeping, since I found the warm seam in the concrete. But there is only one door in that corridor. There is only one utility closet, unless the second door is not in the corridor. B. I have been listed. That is the language the Bell inventory document uses for people the subsurface system has registered. People who have crossed a threshold, been logged, become part of the catalog. Harlan Vale was listed. Cecile Drun was listed. I have suspected for some time that I am listed. The system below this floor has been feeding me documents in sequence, releasing information in the order I have needed it, as though it has been reading me the way I have been reading it, and now it has told me directly. I took the key from my desk drawer. I walked to the east corridor. The utility closet door is gray-painted steel, 3 feet wide, with a single deadbolt lock and no window. The warm seam in the concrete in front of it, the seam that went cold the day I first noticed it, suggesting the heat had withdrawn or relocated, was warm again, warmer than it has ever been. I could feel it through the soles of my shoes. I put the key in the lock. It turned without resistance. The kind of easy that means the lock has been opened recently. The kind of easy that means something knew I was coming. The closet held utility equipment, pipe cutoffs, a breaker box mounted to the left wall, coiled cable on hooks, a drain in the floor center, 6 inches across, capped with a steel plate, bolted at 4 corners. And on the single metal shelf to the right, a cardboard archival box, gray, unsealed. On the side, in black marker, in handwriting I did not recognize from any prior document. Not the careful cream paper hand, not the Crestfall annotator, not the Bell inventory author. A 6th hand, new to me. R's notebooks. Do not file down. Oh, the field notebooks. 4 pages of notes written in Lateral Four by a hand that did not remember writing them. I lifted the box from the shelf. It was heavier than it should have been for what appeared to be a small stack of field notebooks. I carried it to my desk. I set it down. And I noticed, as I set it down, that the drain in the closet floor had been warm beneath the bolted plate. Not the concrete, not ambient seepage, but the plate itself. And that from somewhere below the plate, at a depth I could not calculate, I could hear something. Not a bell. Not a rhythmic knock, a voice, rising and falling, enumerating, unhurried, reading. I closed the closet door. I came back to my desk. The box is in front of me. The archive is quiet except for the sound I can still hear, faintly the way you hear a radio through a motel wall at 2 a.m. Coming up through the floor. R's notebooks are sealed inside a gray archival box that was placed in a locked closet above a sealed tunnel shaft, and the box is heavier than it should be. And whatever is written on those pages was written by a person who doesn't remember writing them, in a chamber where something has been reading aloud for at least 60 years. The key opened the door. I do not yet know what the second door is. I have not opened the box. But I have been listed, and the archive does not lose track of what it has listed. This is the Black Hollow Archive. I am Mara Voss. The record continues.